Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
Here at Glow Fiber Field, Shentel Stadium, the home of the Shenandoah Hornets. Hornets football right around the corner. Matt Conroy joining me. First day in pads. At least it wasn't a scorcher today.
No, it was great weather today. We've had some pretty hot practices throughout the start of camp, so it was nice to have this, but, we need the heat a little bit. So,
How's it feel just getting back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I love it. I love being out here with the guys. We talk about it all the time, being out here, sweating through the hard stuff. It's fun to be out here and go through the struggle together. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, and I know, Matt, you've been with this team for quite some time, and there's sort of a difference this year, I would say, with a lot of newer guys coming up, I would say. I know that happens from year to year, but it seems like a little bit more. How do you deal with sort of just the players and newcomers coming in and making sure you're working together, getting on the same page for the start of the season? Because I do know there's a lot of time before home opener.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we're just looking for leaders, and we've been really successful with that. It started the week the last season ended. We started looking for leaders. Me being a 3-year captain, I kind of took on that job to start searching for those guys, and asked them to step up on the plate a little bit as leaders. And I think we've done a great job. We've been really working well with these young guys, starting to mold them into men and mature as a team and keep that culture alive and well. And I think we've built it a little bit more than it already was. So,
in adding to that point, being a leader yourself and maybe some of the younger guys who might have questions, what's it like just being in that role yourself?
Yeah, it's really special. I really enjoy helping younger people and just helping people in general. So I think it's a special opportunity for me to grow as a person myself and, share some lessons with those younger guys that I've learned along the way and give them that knowledge so they're prepared for when they're put in this role.
So just take me through last season, sort of a new experience, getting the chance to go to a bowl game, not completing the bowl game, but just a new experience for this football team. And Coach Yoder always mentions he loves giving his team opportunities to play. Just take me through what that was like, competing in a bowl game and sort of the culmination of this past season last year into this year. What are you sort of fine-tuning or maybe taking from last year into this year to maybe get a little bit better?
Yeah, it was a really awesome experience, and I think, if anything, it gave us all a little bit of confidence. This team, we still have a lot of guys coming back, a lot of leaders, and we're a very confident team. And I think going forward, we want to push ourselves over that gap. And a lot of people are talking about a rebuild, and we don't really want to rebuild. We're ready to go. So we want to push ourselves to that next step, and I think we can do it. And that bowl game kind of gave us some confidence. Yeah.
So, the first couple of days early on in camp, what stood out to you as, from your perspective as a leader on this football team, guiding these teammates in your position? What's it been like so far, just getting together with the group of guys, coming back together and just getting out there and getting some good quality reps?
Yeah, I think the first thing I noticed is the intensity of practice. We preach a word we used a lot since I've been here is juice. And, the practices have been pretty juiced, which I like to see. It makes them fun, makes them competitive, and, competition brings out the best in people, and we want that. And then another thing is we got some really talented freshmen. There are a lot of freshmen going to step up, make some big plays for us this year, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do as well. So.
And how huge is that you're seeing sort of the younger guys on this team have that potential on this football team?
It just makes me excited for the years to come because, I'm invested this year. This is my last year, but, I want to see this team succeed for as long as I'm alive. So it makes me excited to see that these guys are buying in and seeing what Shenandoah football is about.
Your emotions, Matt, obviously your last year of college ball. I know it's probably been a very great ride for you. You've had a lot of accomplishments. What are you going to cherish most out of this season?
I think just the brotherhood. Football is a unique sport where you have people from all different types of areas come into a locker room, and I think it's really special. And to be able to lead a group of guys like that, those are lessons that you take away for the rest of your life. And these are all people that I'm going to know for the rest of my life. They'll go to my weddings, things like that. So, that's what I think so special about football.
There you have it, Matt Conroy, Shenandoah Football right around the corner. Really appreciate the time, Matt. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Andy Anderson joining me after Hornets practice today. How's it feel just getting back out there with pads?
Oh, it feels great. I've been wanting it for a while. It's good to get back into football, get back into the swing of things, and get after it with my teammates.
Absolutely. It seems like a lot of energy out there, a lot of intensity, and just practice time. It looks like you're getting some good quality reps. What stands out to you so far getting together with the team early on?
So we have a big saying, if you're juiceless, you're useless. So that's why we bring the energy. Even though camp's hard, we do hard things, but we got to bring the intensity every rep, every practice. And that's what I really love about this team is that we bring it every play.
And how does that help, that juiceless, you're useless, bringing the juice? How does that translate in a sense when it gets to meaningful football in the regular season?
That's the fourth quarter mentality you have to have. You have to have that energy to get through the fourth quarter. That's why we do all the hard things that we do, and that's why we bring the intensity. And that's why, our practices are structured the way they are. It helps us in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. I love that mindset. Just take me through what you're looking forward to most as you get through more of camp and into the start of the regular season next month.
I love building those relationships with the guys, protecting the culture. I'm just ready to get after it September 6th against Methodist and show them what Shenandoah is about, and I'm ready to go.
Andy, really appreciate the time, and best of luck to you this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Drew Kuster joining me, captain, primarily on the defensive line. You have a pretty big role out there on the defensive line. Just take me through the early days of camp, first day of pads. How's everything feeling for you?
So everything's been going good. We got a lot of young guys this year. I know on the D-line we got a bunch of guys that are ready to play, and they bring a lot of energy every single day. So it's not only has it been getting us ready, but it's also been getting these young guys caught up to speed with college ball. Everything from the playbook to a full day of camp, check in with meals. It's very different for them. So a big part of what we're doing is getting them caught up to speed.
As a captain and younger guys on the team, maybe just being there to guide them through this system in a sense. What's that like? You have that responsibility?
Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting part. And this is new for me. I'm a first-year captain, a first-year starter, so it's definitely been a developing time for me as well. But I've just been able to look up to some great guys, other great captains who have took me under their wing and just really allowed me to become the leader that I need to be for the younger guys.
So defensive line, that's a pretty big role. You got to make sure you're rushing, getting pressure to the offense. Just working on that mindset during camp, how huge is that you're getting the good quality reps in when it comes to the start of the regular season?
Yeah, so it's what I tell the young guys every day. You got to come and compete. Every single rep that they get, whether it's against the first string or the fifth string, they got to compete. They got to give it their all because everything's evaluated. In college, everything's filmed, a little different than high school. But, getting these young guys to compete every single rep, even when we're stretching, 100% in stretching, got to get your body right. So that's been one of the big things.
I like the motto, you got to bring the juice or something along those lines. If you're juiceless, you're useless. That's a pretty cool saying. How does that translate to the D-line in terms of bringing the juice?
Yeah, so it really starts out with our stance and starts. Right after we stretch, we get into stance and starts. And, if we're flat, if we're not gaining ground, if we don't have energy, the entire defense doesn't have energy. Because at the end of the day, if we don't do our job up front, it doesn't matter what the linebackers or DBs do because we control the line of scrimmage. So it's definitely important to get everybody juiced up, as soon as we get rolling with practice and game day. So.
And that juice, we hope, will translate into the regular season. Drew, really appreciate your time. Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Sean Perry joining me after practice, Shenandoah Hornets football. Sean, I know you've been around the program for quite some time. How's it feel just getting back into the swing of things?
It feels good, like being out here with the guys. I've been doing this since I was 5, so it feels great to be out here. It's just another day in the office, that's all.
Absolutely. I like that saying. Just take me through first day in pads. The energy's high, and I know the players refer to the term juice and bringing that juice and that energy. How huge is it you're bringing the energy and getting the quality reps in you need in the early portions of camp?
It feels good, I like to see everybody come out here, juice, bring the energy, everybody competing. It just shows us what we about and that we ready.
I know last season getting a lot more experience with that bowl game, some successes for this Hornets football team. Take me through sort of last season and what you're trying to build on into this season, if anything.
We're just trying to do the same thing. Nothing really about the last season. It's a new season, so we're trying to bring in something different. You know, we're trying to do better than what we did last season. We're not worried about the last season. We're on to the next.
And just take me through as you progress more into camp. It seems like getting more install and stuff set to go. So just take me through moving forward with some younger guys, as other people alluded to, keeping that energy for the start of the regular season.
The coaches did a great job of recruiting, so I feel like the young guys, they're going to be real good. We just got to keep leading them the right way. I feel like they're going to be great, and they bring the energy just like we do. So that's a good thing for the team, and it's real positive.
Sean, really appreciate your time out here, and I wish you all the best this season.
Appreciate it.
Now joined by the head coach of the Shenandoah Hornets right after the first day in pads, Coach Scott Yoder. Coach, Happy New Year, my friend.
Oh, it's great to be back. It's football season. We're out here, and we got some great weather, so no complaints.
Seems like a lot of energy. Your team's referring to the term juice. You're juiceless, you're useless. That energy showed on the field from the little bit of practice I saw.
Well, we should have some good energy. Just the excitement of being back together and the first time in full pads lets us do some things that hopefully we've been wanting to do for a while, and practices have been really good, some good senior leadership, and we got a good group of young guys. So I know it's tough and the guys are sore, but I've liked what we've done in practice. A lot of mistakes, but everything we can fix. So excited about getting that fixed in the next couple of days.
Absolutely. Speaking to some of the captains on this team, they mentioned some of the youth on this team as well and how they're helping making sure they get your system in check, everything. How huge is that you have those captains that were voted in by the team, I believe, when it comes to just getting everything in order early on instead of later in the season?
Well, the best teams that I've been around have always had a huge part of leadership from within, from the players. So our captains, our seniors, our upperclassmen really embrace that and do a great job. And the reality is when you have 135 to 140 guys on a team, no one voice is going to get to everybody. So just reinforcing our standards, not just on the practice field, but how we handle ourselves on campus, how we handle ourselves academically in film, how we study our opponents. That's got to be a culture thing that everybody lives and breathes, and our older guys do a great job of that. I'm certainly appreciative of that, and that has translated to some success for us, which is a big part of that.
So let's rewind to the offseason. I know the offseason is huge for you in getting the opportunity to cover some spring sports. I got sort of that inside look of how you do recruiting and bringing the players on and everything. It looks like a very hospitality environment in that sense. When it comes to bringing kids you want to play on your football team on campus, just take me through how the recruiting process went for you all.
Well, it's a year-round deal. As far as we're always doing something for recruiting, whether you're evaluating and finishing up seniors or starting to evaluate and gather data on juniors. It's a 365 days a year that our staff is doing something with the recruiting. Right now, we're getting game day invites out to seniors and juniors to come see the environment we have here. And the nice thing is that we really feel as a staff, we've got such a great product. The university's such a great product. Winchester's such a great product. We just got to get these guys on campus. If we get these guys on campus, they see a game, they see the energy, they see the atmosphere, they see the academic offerings. They see the opportunities available for them here, that we're going to have a good shot with that family. Now, it's not always that simple. We got to work really hard at it. But when you do that and you got a great product, you're going to have a good chance to bring in quality people. And we've been fortunate to do that over the last 5 to 7 years.
Absolutely. So, Coach, going back to camp, and I know you haven't really had to address this in the past, but Stephen Hugney graduating and the quarterback position, I know it's early, I'm not going to ask, but at the same time, when it comes to the quarterback position, what do you look for when it comes to the next starter for Shenandoah?
Well, that's a great question because everybody always wants to know about the quarterback, and obviously when you graduate the ODAC Offensive Player of the Year, you know you had a good one. and people that were close to the program know that Steven brought so much to us that was beyond, the stats and the big plays. There was a great leadership and team chemistry piece there, and we've got some really good guys that maybe aren't household names yet, but will be, hopefully by early October. And it's a battle right now, and the intangibles are really it. I mean, obviously you got to have a skill set, and Coach Hodgen and Coach Balzerman do a great job of tailoring it, what we're doing offensively, to that skill set. But the big thing is leadership, and there's so much that goes on, directing traffic, the X's and O's, getting us in the right formations, making all that communication. That's the only position that's got to know what every 22 guys on the field are doing. So there's a lot on them mentally. So they got to be sharp mentally. They got to be a good leader. They got to be accountable. They got to be dependable. You got to be an overall pretty solid human being and mature. And there's a lot on their plate. So we ask a lot of those guys. The competition is open, and we're going to have a good one. We just don't know who it is right now.
And when it comes to the competition, I know they're probably teammates competing for one starting job, but at the same time supporting each other. I know most quarterback rooms like to support each other no matter who ends up QB1. What is that like for you?
Well, it's probably like every position battle and position room that we have, which is, these guys are teammates and friends, and they're working hard next to each other, and they care about each other, and at the same time they're trying to take each other's job. So it's an interesting dynamic, but it's highly competitive. The thing is, these guys have been playing competitive sports for a long time. They understand it through high school. The best players are going to play. You produce, you're going to be on the field. If you can bring value to our organization on Saturday and Saturday nights, you're going to be out there. So bring value. You got to out-compete your buddy sometimes, and he's going to make you better, and you're going to make him better. And that's what this thing is all about. So we've got a great team chemistry here. We got a great team culture. We just got to keep building that, and good things will happen.
And I know other key playmakers like Broden, he's no longer with the team and whatnot. When you evaluate some of the other talent that graduated out or left, I know not the quarterback position, but at the same time looking at those positions, trying to get the best candidate, how well are you relying on your coaching staff to give you sort of the best candidate for that position, so to speak?
Well, it's just it's such a great part of preseason camp is the competitive reps and the ability to evaluate these guys in a really competitive environment. And we get, there's no classes right now, so it's all football, which is great. We get that chunk of time, and every day watching these guys progress, make mistakes, get them corrected. How much can they handle mentally? How much can their bodies handle as far as just the grind of college football? But our staff does a great job. What we're able to do right now is we kind of know what the upperclassmen can do. So we're trying to throw some of those new young guys in some really tough spots, maybe with the older guys, to see can they handle it. Can their athleticism and can they handle it mentally, and see if those guys are ready to play on ODAC Saturdays. And if they are, then their role will increase. And if they're not, then we might back it down a little bit and get them comfortable and then try to develop them even more that way. So it's a whole staff effort, but we got some good young guys out here that are going to help us, and we're excited to see what this thing can be in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely, and I'd just like to ask your thoughts. You've been with Shenandoah for quite some time. ODAC always seems to be competitive. What's your take on the ODAC conference this year? More competition, or what's that like?
Well, it's always going to be super competitive. It's easily one of the best Division III football conferences out there with good football players, well coached. There's no gimmies, and we all know that. Obviously you probably have some of the usual suspects up near the top, but the thing is there's no off weekends in our league. We've seen every year that somebody maybe not as high up in the win and loss record can beat somebody who's maybe up near the top anytime. So, it's kind of like the NFL in that regard, that there really are no bye weeks, and that's how we have to take it. And, that's one of the big reasons why a lot of kids want to come to Shenandoah, a chance to be in the ODAC, one of the best, academic and athletic conferences in the country, and, be right here in this area of the country, and that's why they're here. So let's embrace that and love that grind.
And last year you got the opportunity to play in that bowl game, and I know the one thing that always sticks out to me about you always like to give your team opportunities to play. And I don't want you to look too far ahead, but at the same time, Coach, the bowl games, does that look the same in terms of playing? I know you want to get into the national championship hunt, but at the same time, is that format sort of the same to your understanding still?
Yes, so ODAC is still in the agreement with the Landmark Conference where our number 2 and number 3, if they don't qualify for the NCAA playoffs, would play in a bowl game. It's my understanding this year that it will be at host sites. So last year we went to Salem, which was awesome. Salem treated us great and really appreciate the experience our team had down there with that whole crew. But this year, an ODAC school will host a Landmark school, and a Landmark school will host an ODAC school. I'm always going to fight for our players getting more opportunities to play because we have a very defined season. And when you only get 10 games, you're not guaranteed all of those with how physical our game is. So I'm always going to be a proponent of more opportunities for our young men to play, especially meaningful games. So any bowl game or postseason we get, I'm probably going to be for that. And that was a great experience for us. And, obviously the goal is probably bigger than that. But if we're playing, if when the seasons end, we're not turning in our equipment, that's a really positive thing for our team and our program. So, we'd love to extend the season.
Coach, you've been at Shenandoah for quite some time. Does this feeling ever get old, just getting back into the swing of things, getting your players back in camp? The weather starts to change. The fall air in football is here.
25 years doing this. This is my 13th year at SU. It never gets old. I love it. I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy the challenges, the ups and the downs, and obviously the people, the coaches, the kids. My only question is, why would you come to SU and not wear SU colors for the interview and wear rival colors? We got to answer that question. I'm going to ask you a question. You got to get a better shirt.
That's just the colors of the pot. I know where you're going, but
We can do better. We can do better, okay?
Coach, it's an honor and pleasure talking football with you. I really appreciate the time, and hopefully we'll catch you down the line, but best of luck to you this season.
Appreciate it. Thanks for everything you do for area sports and our university and for ODAC football and for Shenandoah. Thank you.